Hi, everybody. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you? Welcome to Elder Council. I've been getting ready for you today, and it's these new elder councils for me, because it's so different for me now that my mom has crossed. It's such a different experience for me that even my preparation is different. I am good. This is the busiest 2 weeks of my entire year at Sage Goddess. I'm sure you guys probably know this. We are getting ready to launch programs, and I am completing all my regular work, and my kids are in final exams. So last week and this week, and then my friend was in town last week, so it kind of threw my whole schedule off. So last week and this week, like, I don't sleep, I barely eat. I ate while I was walking around the house today. Like, I didn't even stop to eat today. So I'm sure it's the busiest 2 weeks of the year for you too, but it is my absolute 2 busiest weeks. I literally don't sleep. I was up most of the night last night. I got up at 6 a.m. this morning. I had my chicken while I was walking around the house today. The kids need help. I was studying with Nick for his Spanish final exam until 9 p.m. last night. I had to help Zoe with her root word quiz. I mean, because most of my kids' subjects, aside from math, are my territory, and they both have their final exams right now. So anyway, after next week, my life gets quite a bit easier once the kids are home from school and our new programs have launched and everything. But you can imagine what my life is like running a company right now, and with kids in final exams and getting ready for the holidays, and then of course grief, right? Which which it's interesting, just to be candid with you. It's interesting because grief doesn't care. I was laying in bed last night. Do you ever have these moments where you wake up? I woke up at 2:35 in the morning last night. I looked over at my alarm clock and it said 2:35, and I looked up at the ceiling, and I had this overwhelming wave of grief. And because I wanted to call my mom yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday? It was the first time I picked up my phone to call her. First time. Everybody who's lost somebody they love knows this. But it was the first time I picked up my phone to call her. Yeah. And realized I couldn't. Even that is like too much, Because she was always the one who would say, take a breath, it'll all be okay. It's a lot, but remember the reason for the season. She was the one. So anyway, I really am okay. I'm so good at managing it all, but it just is kind of up here right now. Right? You have those moments where you're like, I literally picked up my phone and I was like, oh, I can't call her. It's just one of those moments. Do you still have those moments too? Anyway, it's nice to be able to tell you that, because, when I'm live in front of most people, I can't say that. It's like, I guess I can, but people don't really want to hear that 3 or 4 months later. It's like, kind of move on. But I know you guys understand. It's not a normal loss. I've lost people who are important to me, but this one is like on a different level. Yeah. So do you know what was really funny? When I woke up at 2:30 in the morning last night, seriously, when I woke up at 2:30 in the morning last night, what I heard was, just talk to me. Just talk to me. And so I did. I laid there and I'm like, hey, Mom. Zoe kind of has a boyfriend. That's what I wanted to tell her. She kind of has a boyfriend. which totally would have been something I would have called her and told her. And, hey, Mom, you know. The kids don't have wish lists this year because they're getting older, and it's like there's not that much stuff that they want. What do I send you, you know? So I just talked to her anyway. I did. I laid there in bed and I just talked to her. Look, listen, this is not exciting. So she's like, so we're kind of dating, and I was like, how do you date? I felt like such an old woman. And she was like, she looked at me like I had three heads, and she was like, we talk, like we like FaceTime and we text. And I was like, oh, so you don't actually like date? She's like, how would we date? Like, we totally can't date, just talk to each other. And I was like, sorry that like I'm not hip to the program about how people date. And I was like, so, you know, because when I was 12, I was a little bit naughtier than that. So I was like, what do you do? Anyway, I don't want to take up your elder council time with that. But anyway, just to tell you, I'm fine. I'm here. It's just a lot right now, but I am, in so many ways, more grateful than ever to have this time with you. And I am prepared for you tonight. Look, do you know how people date in 2022? Is this like, are you hip to the program? Am I the only like grandma out here who doesn't know how it works? Like, I don't know how you date in 2022. Like, you got a flippin' mask on and stuff, right? Like, I was all about getting my tongue in other people's mouths. Like, you can't really do that anymore, right? Anyway, I'm so not hip to the program right now. I'm learning how it goes. Yeah. Were you not here too? I told her, I'm like, you know, I was kind of like real serious with boys by the time I was 12, 13. Like I was. And she was like, that's not how it goes right now. And we're not like that. And I was just like, good. I don't need you to be all like that. No, they don't even kiss. They don't even kiss. Kissing is my favorite thing. I'm like, you don't kiss? And she's like, I don't kiss. I'm like, okay. Who am I, right? What do I know? I'm just one of those old people who has no idea. Who has no idea how it goes, right? Don't you like kissing? 12 years old seems young, but I was a real early bloomer. I kissed my first boy when I was 6. And by the time I was her age, I was about into the thing. So I haven't told her that, but I'm just going with her flow. So it is what it is. I was like, good, you want to slow it up? I'm all about that too. So I'm going to clear your field for you right now. I know. Kissing was all you did in the 80s. That's good. When I was 13, I met a soulmate. And that kind of changed everything for me. And he would continue to be a soulmate of mine until I was 24. Yeah. So that changed everything. I literally locked eyes with that human being when I was 13 years old, and it was like he and I were, that was lifetimes of energy, right? Doesn't it feel good to take a breath? Feels good for me too. All right, so I am prepared for you. So what my spirit guides told me, I'll show you my little setup here. You don't have to have any tools for tonight, by the way. It's all optional, but I do like to burn things, and I do like to work with our Elder Council tools. So I will take just a couple minutes to explain all these things to you, and I don't even know if we have any of these things that Sage Goddess. Alexis will know if we do. And if we don't worry about it. Don't have FOMO about it. Sometimes we make Elder Council tools before Journey, and sometimes we don't. Let me turn on my light for you. So I'm going to put a little bit of Kefi on my incense disc. I haven't done Elder Council with Kefi before, and I was really excited that we made Kefi, so I really did want to burn some with you. So if you have Kefi, that's a good one to put just a little nugget of it on there on your charcoal disc. If you don't have Kefi, don't worry about it. You don't need it. Yeah. We might have some new people tonight. Is anybody new to Elder Council this evening? It's a good question from Karen Brown. Anybody not done Elder Council before? Can I see a show of hands? Circe's burning all the things. What's FOMO? FOMO stands for fear of missing out. And I don't think it's a great thing. Because here's my perspective on FOMO. I don't think you're really missing out on anything in life. Don't you agree? Is that better? I don't think you can miss out. I think you're right where you need to be, and I don't think you should ever feel like, oh, I'm missing out on this or I'm missing out on that. Like, if it's meant for you, you'll have it. Don't you think? Yeah, people say, oh, FOMO because I'm not here, or FOMO because I'm not there, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I'm always like, you have what you have, right? And it's probably exactly what you're supposed to have. I don't believe really in FOMO. Okay, cool. So look at that. So Riku is new. Let me see if anybody else is new. Jill is new to Elder Council. Really happy that you're here. Nina's new. Hazel's new. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Anybody else new tonight? Missy says, I am. I've been too nervous to try it before. Tonight might be the night for you. I'll tell you why. You ready, Missy? So every time I do Elder Council, so let me back up the truck, okay? Elder Council, the first time I did it was 10 years ago. And I didn't want to do it. Okay? I was teaching a class called Magical Sabbatical, and which was what Soul Shift was when Soul Shift started. It was called Magical Sabbatical. I apologize for my voice. I may have to get something to drink. But hopefully I'll be okay. So when I first started teaching this class, Magical Sabbatical, which was led by Spirit, my spirit guide said, okay, once a quarter we want you to do this thing called Elder Council. Okay, and I was like, well, okay. Listening, right? And they said, okay, so this is going to be a meditation where you take your students in to connect with their spirit guides and their ancestors. And it's a really serious meditation. Right? And I was like, okay, I don't want to do it. I mean, anytime Spirit's like, oh, it's going to be this big, heavy thing, I'm like, I don't want that, right? And they were like, no, we want you to do it. And it's a gift to me that I get to take you into this meditation tonight. But there are some rules around it, okay? And these rules were given to me in meditation before I did Elder Council for the first time. Now, I'm telling you this, I don't want you to make Elder Council into something that's stressful, because it's not. Elder Council is meant for you. If you're here, there's a reason. And you don't need to be intimidated by what I'm going to tell you, okay? It was more for me as a teacher. And what they said was, what the Spirit Guide said was, we're going to let you do this 4 times a year. Take these incredible human beings into this deeper state of meditation. But the rule is, they have to ask a question. And the question has to be something, it's a question upon which something in your life depends, okay? Am I going to pursue this goal or not pursue this goal? Am I going to marry this person or not marry this person? Am I going to stay in this job or not stay in this job? Am I going to pursue my healing or not pursue my healing? Am I going to... It's a big question that you need to bring in. And they were very clear with me, like, you need to not bring in a superficial question, like, oh, should I wear a yellow shirt tomorrow? Like, who cares, right? Like, that doesn't matter. Something in your life doesn't depend on that. But the questions of, like, am I on my right path? That's a good question for Elder Council. Am I headed in the right direction? Am I hearing my guides correctly? Am I honoring the legacy and the work of my ancestors? Does this make sense? Like, it has to be a big question. And it shouldn't be a simple question like yes, no, in, out. Yeah, that's right. Lauren put their words correctly. It's a question of import. Something has to hinge on it, where you're going to change based on the answer that you receive. And that's why we only do it 4 times a year. You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but I don't have these big questions every day. The big questions come to me every so often, and then I'm ready to take them into elder council, right? Yeah, and so Holly said I struggle with having a question. It doesn't have to be a yes or no. In fact, it's probably better if it's where should I go? How should I proceed? What are my soul gifts? How do I activate those gifts to help other people? How do I show up to the purpose of my life? What's the right way to engage, right? What's the best way to engage with my partner? How do I heal the emptiness in my heart? Like, what do I do with that? Does this make sense? Do you guys feel like you have a big question? How or when or why or where, or do you feel like you have something on your heart like that? And then, like Lauren says, if you don't have a big question, the best thing you can ask another counsel is, what do I need to know? You know, what do they want to show you? And this is our last Elder Council of 2021, which is really important. You know, I wanted to do one more with you before the year concluded, because some of you may not continue in Soulshift next year. I mean, which is okay. I mean, every year I teach, students come in, students go out. And my approach to that, by the way, is I have an open door policy. So you can come and go as you please. I really feel that way in my life because I don't take a lot of classes in my own life. I study with 2 or 3 teachers at a time. And I can't work with someone if they don't have an open door policy, because sometimes I get busy and I can't keep up, or I miss 2 months and I want to come back for the next month, or something isn't relevant but then the next thing is. Does that make sense? So when I work with a teacher, that teacher has to be like me, where the teacher says, oh, okay, yeah, it's totally okay if you are in and you're out and you're in and you're out, because that's kind of how I am in my process. Yeah. So if you are staying, great. We're going to do Elder Council 4 more times in 2022. But if this is your last one, right? If this is your last one, that's really important too. That's very, very important. Next year, I am certifying you. By the way, this year you're being certified as elemental healers, and you're being certified as Soul Shift graduates, and you're being certified as crystal masters, and you're being certified as alchemists. Next year, I'm raising the ante a little bit. Next year, I'm certifying you as oracles and spirit channels. And then that's your first certification. Your second certification, I'm certifying you as manifestation guides. People I'm going to teach you how to manifest, and then I'm going to teach you how to teach other people how to manifest. So I'm certifying you as a manifestation guide, and then I'm certifying you as crystal masters, beginning or advanced, level 1 or level 2, and then I'm certifying you as soul shift healers. Yeah, those are your 4 certificates next year. So you're becoming certified as an oracle and channel from me. You're being certified as a manifestation guide by me. You're being certified as a crystal healer by me, level 1 or level 2. And yeah, and so and I'm only certifying oracles and manifestation guides in 2022. I have a different plan for 2023. So this will be if you want to become a manifestation coach, and if you want to become an oracle, those are the 4 certificates for 2022. So, which is pretty exciting because I'm going to teach you how to channel for yourself and for other people. And then I'm going to teach you how to become a manifestation coach for yourself and other people. I know. Shh. I haven't announced this formally yet. This will be announced next week, but you guys are getting like the sneaky peeky. It's really fun because, the oracle is my spiritual tradition, right? I come from the people of Delphi. So I feel like if anybody's going to certify you as an oracle, it's going to be me. And I'm training you in 12 different methodologies and modalities to be able to channel information and serve as a spirit guide for others. Isn't that cool? I'm not doing perfume around the world because there was not much interest in it. People wanted a little limited experience, but most people don't want to be trained as aromatherapists. So that was a little experiment. But everybody's excited about this concept of being trained as a manifestation guide and coach and being trained as an oracle and a spirit channel. So anyway, tonight is our last. I know we're really excited. I'm really excited. And isn't this cool? It's going to be so exciting. Wait till you see like the curriculum and the art and and wait till you see your bonus classes. Before we start, I'm taking you on a guided journey to what's called the Aditon, which is the inner sanctum of the Oracle at Delphi. And I'm actually taking you on a guided journey to that sacred and holy place in Delphi, which is my homeland. So I'm really excited. And that's all before classes even begin. So, yeah, you get 4 certificates. Prices are going up $10 a class, which I don't think is that much. I haven't raised prices in 3 years. So Crystal Masters is going to be $40 next year instead of $30, and Soul Shift is going to be $100 next year instead of $90, which I don't think is that much. But it allows me to cover all of our crazy rising costs. So anyway, I'm probably not supposed to give you that much information, but that's what's happening. So the program costs are not really going up by that much, and the content is incredible. In fact, I think my whole career has been preparing me to train you in this way. And in fact, it's a really, we haven't raised prices in 3 years, so I think that's the equivalent of raising prices $3 a year, which isn't even like the cost of living. So hopefully, and Soul Shift still includes Crystal Masters and all of that, so hopefully it won't be much of a change for anybody who's in the programs. Yeah, we wanted to keep everything really affordable for everybody. And then I'll be telling you more about this, but and tools are going up, I think, by about the same amount per month. I don't have the final price on tools yet. It's kind of great considering that our costs have gone up 50% in the last 3 years. So we're not passing all of our costs along to you, which I think is really great. Isn't that cool? Yeah. And I'm amazed that we're only going to have to increase tools by $10 because it was almost impossible to give you beautiful things for $30 in Crystal Masters. I don't know how we did it. I know, like, it's true. Katrina's like, $10 is 2 cups of coffee. We did our best this year, but I want to be able to continue to bring you beautiful things, and the world is becoming a more expensive place. So anyway, hopefully that kind of puts your mind at ease. But I'm telling you all of this, right, so that you can kind of get prepared for next year. And if you're like, you know what, I don't want to be a channel, I don't want to be an oracle, I don't want to be a manifestation guide, I just wanted to be an alchemist when I'm done, I just want you to know I won't be offended. One of the things you should know about me is I really trust spirit. I really trust that what comes to me and what needs to be, and by the way, we're still doing the annual option where you get to take 2 months off your cost. So if you sign up for the whole year, you save 2 months off the annual cost of Soul Shift, and you save 2 months off the annual cost of Crystal Masters, which is pretty cool too. Isn't that cool? I love to be able to keep my classes affordable for you. So anyway, I hope those of you who've been here for a long time, I hope that that it's reasonable for you and that you can keep going. And my hope is that people who are new will be able to find it also very affordable. Because a lot of places that you go, especially for advanced, like those of you who've been in Crystal Masters for a year or two can now be advanced crystal healers through the program, and most advanced crystal healing programs are expensive. So anyway, it's going to be the same price whether you're in the beginning or the advanced and all of that. So I just want to kind of like put your mind at ease, because a lot of you have been like, God, I want to keep going. I hope it's not too expensive. I hope it's interesting. And I hope you're going to love it, because we're all excited about it. We've been working behind the scenes on this for a long time. But all to say, truly, that tonight is important because this is our last Elder Council in the context of alchemy, right? Where alchemy is different from becoming an oracle and a spirit channel, okay? Next year, my goal is, and I'll tell you so much more about this. Deborah Peterson, for example, who's asking what's an oracle. I'll tell you so much more about this next week when the program's launch. I'm giving you guys like a little sneak preview. For me, Kaz, you're going to make me cry. For me, the world has changed so much, and I want to prepare you to hold it. And I really asked my spirit guides, like, what is it that I need to provide to these people, and who are like my family, right? Like, I think of you guys like my sisters and my brothers. I really do. Like, I love you that much, and it's like, what can I possibly provide that's going to prepare our collective, you and me both, to be able to meet the challenges of this time? And this is what came to me, is we have to open up these intuitive channels, and we have to do it in a new way and in a different way that's going to help us be able to receive information clearly, run energy and information more efficiently without having it tax and drain us and limit our own capacity to hold space, without overwhelming us. And it's a whole curriculum that I've built to help you do that in an efficient way. But I do. So anyway, more information will come next week. But for all of you who've been like, oh God, what if it's too expensive? What if I can't afford it? What if it's boring as fuck? What if I don't want to do this? Hopefully tonight kind of puts some of that at ease for you. Yeah, so I'm really excited about it. So tonight, when I do Elder Council, okay, and if you have questions about classes, just hold on to those, because I want to take us back into Elder Council space, and it's hard for me to hold both at the same time because we're going to journey in just a minute, which kind of takes me out of the Q&A phase. Were you scared? Don't be scared. Yeah, like Alexa said, we're raising the price of your tools is going from $100 to $109. And your Crystal Masters tools are going from $30 to $39. I mean, there was no way for me to do it for any less. But yeah, we didn't want to price things to a point where people couldn't afford them. I'm very sensitive to that. So anyway, I'm so glad that it's going to continue to be affordable for everybody. I don't do the big crazy price hikes. But for tonight, so when I'm bruised all over, by the way. I had a massage therapist who was doing body work on me. Do you see here and here? I had her do all kinds of really intense body work on me last week. I had massages 4 days in a row to try and loosen up my shoulders, and she literally went in on me. So if I lifted my arms and you're like, why is that poor woman bruised? It felt really good. It's just I'm very sensitive, so she did a lot of work on me. But anyway, tonight when I went into meditation today and asking my spirit guides, so what does this final Elder Council need to be like for 2021 for alchemy? Do you know what I was told? Yeah. What I was told was we have to do a traditional journey tonight. I am not I'm not the most traditional person. Every time we do Elder Council, I do it just a little bit differently, and I bring in different tools or different energies or different approaches or different visualizations, and I'm always switching it up. But my spirit guides for tonight said that it has to be traditional. I need to bring you into a traditional shamanic journey. And I don't know about you, but that feels really good to me. It feels very accurate in my heart. because I'm missing that, in my own life. I miss shamanic journey. I miss journeying in groups. I miss, you know, I miss the big drum. I miss the callback, as we call it, right? Leading you in, calling you back out. I miss all of those things. And so tonight we're going to do a traditional journey. Does that sound good? Feels right, doesn't it? And so if you haven't done a traditional shamanic drum journey, tonight's going to be your medicine. I do want to tell you that if you want to, I always point to my necklace because Circe's like, oh, I gotta pee. I always tell you, go get a crystal or go get a wand or go get a piece of jewelry. I'm wearing one of the kunzite bracelets that we brought you. I put this kunzite bracelet on the other day when I showed them to you at Sage Goddess, and I can't take it off. It is just my medicine. So, because kunzite is a family healer, and after losing my mom, I feel like I'm stepping into this new role in my family, and it has been such a stone of comfort for me as I figure out what this new role and responsibility is. And that's actually my question, like, how do I caretake my family now? What does that look like for me to step into the role of matriarch, mother, older sister, right? The one who does the holidays and does the pretty much everything now, right? Like, how do I become the main keeper of the feminine in my family? So this has been a really important piece for me. And then I always work with my magician pendant in Elder Council, because I believe that the energy that we raise in Elder Council kind of it programs your quartz. So if you already have like a quartz necklace on, or a quartz pendant on, or like a quartz ring, or a piece of quartz jewelry, it's probably enough. I don't think you have to go run and grab something, and that's why I love wearing quartz all the time, because it's automatically there for programming. Thank you for that, Karen. I feel like I'm already doing it, but then part of me is like, do I need like training? Do I need like a special skill? Is there some like bonus class I'm supposed to take on how to do this, right? So my main questions tonight for Elder Council are, how do I do this for my family in a good way, and what does that look like, and what do I need to know, and how do I prepare? So Katrina's working with Golden Healer. Nina says we're in the same life situation, and you may be, and I just want you to know I see you. Like, if your role is changing, could be just in your nuclear family. It could be that your role is changing in your community. It could be that your role is changing. Maybe you're stepping forward to learn how to teach, right? Yeah, and so if you got leopard skin jasper instead of the shungite Merkaba, for example, like Bonnie's talking about, like that actually probably wasn't an accident. Colin has her magician pendant. So for me, that's my automatic, like that's always what the energy goes to for me. If you have something else that you want to work with, so asking about new job opportunities is perfect for tonight, by the way, like in so many different ways. Just looking through your comments here. I love it. Sheila's working with the quartz that she jumped over last night, which I think is a perfect piece. Tanya says, I have a spirit quartz pendant that's been on every Elder Council with me, right? So whatever and Christiana's asking, what do I do now, right? Like, what's next? That's a great question for Elder Council. What's next? And it's actually one of my favorite questions as a coach, because the what's next question keeps you from getting stuck in victim mode or in, for me, it's not necessarily a victim mode that I get stuck in, but I get stuck in, I can get stuck in grief. I can get stuck in, they call it analysis paralysis, right? I can get stuck overthinking. And so what I have to do is go, okay, what's next? What's the next step? What's the next move? What's the next person I need to help? What's the next thing I need to say? Like, what's the next? And that's a great question to bring into Elder Council, because you'll get some good questions. And sometimes they'll surprise you. Linda says Shaman's Dreamstone, which I would absolutely say that's a perfect stone. Celestial quartz is also really good. Stagnation. That's right. Like just getting stuck, where it's like your record. Anybody remember record players? Remember when the record used to skip? I had what was it from Stevie Nicks on LP? I think it was. What song was it? It would get stuck just like the white winged dove, and it would get just like the white winged dove. It would get stuck on that kind of groove. So if you've been getting stuck on your same groove in your record player, Elder Council is a great opportunity for what's next, what's next, what's next, right? Okay, good. So you have the tools you need, you have the awareness you need, right? Can you do me a favor? Take a minute here, close your eyes, crystallize the question, and just take a breath with that question. Just bring your full awareness to it. Imagine that question that you're sitting with is like a sphere of energy. And just let it have its form and its shape, right? What's the top of that question? What's the bottom of that question? What's the east? What's the west? Right? What are the hemispheres of that question? What's above? What's below? What's in? What's out? What's around that question? And let that question take up its space in your mind. But crystallizing it right now is really, really, really important. Because the more crystal clear that question becomes in your mind, the more clear the answers will be. So I want to encourage you to, I will never judge you. However you roll with Elder Council is up to you. If you like to stay commenting and in the feed and like being present to people, totally support that. If you like to not do that and go off the feed and just maybe you want to lay down, maybe you want to rest and relax, because that's also what I'm here for. Maybe now's the time to go off the feed and not pay as much attention to it. I'm going to shift my attention from the feed to the camera. And you don't have to close your eyes. You can stay right here with me, but you don't have to pay attention to everybody else in the room. You're not here to fix or change anything for anybody. You're really just here for you tonight. So just reminding you of that. Your questions do not have to be on the same topic. You can have multiple questions. They can be about a lot of different topics, but I love the what's next. What do I need to know that I don't know right now? How do I answer, or how do I handle this thing that's in front of me in a good way? How do I support this person, right? Yeah, Karen Brown said, don't be surprised if you fall asleep. Sometimes your spirit guides have to straight up just knock your little cutie pie booty out because you think too much. And so they go, good night, Emily. And they just watch you go off to sleep, because otherwise Emily just goes la 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 la, and she's too much up here. So the spirit guides just go poof and they knock you out, and that's okay. So Angelica, you know, if you lay down and you fall asleep, I love that. If you were here, I would love it if you fell asleep. Everybody who walks, by the way, my friend was here last week in my crystal room every day, and she would walk in this room and just pretty much pass out. If you were here, you'd fall asleep. This room has that effect on people, so that's okay too. You'll get what you need tonight. I promise. You will. It'll come to you in all the perfect ways and in just the perfect time. And it'll be everything it needs to be. You can go pee. I'll be here. I'll be here. I'm not going to sing it for you. You don't want that. Aw, thank you. Lauren says she falls asleep to my voice at bedtime every night. I love that so much. I really do. So let's bring our attention to our breath. Let's bring our attention to our heartbeat tonight. Yeah. I would. I'd put you right up in that bed and tell you to take a nap. It's true. Thank you, Kaz. Really appreciate you so much. So, this is not your time to take notes or to think a whole lot. This is your embodiment experience. This is your time just to be and to allow, not to expect, and not to try and force and push and pull. This is just you and your spirit guides tonight. So, as we begin to open this door, I'm going to ask my spirit guides to come closer. I'm going to ask your spirit guides to come closer. I'm going to call in. That wasn't directed at you, Emily Flanders, but you know what I mean. I'm going to call in all of your ancestors who want to be here with us tonight. Hi, ancestors. It's so good to see you. Oh, we miss you. Miss you so much. Calling in all the aunts and the uncles and brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and aunts and uncles and grandmothers and grandfathers and great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers. We just invite them all into the room. You're all welcome here. Any of you who have walked that beautiful pathway into that light, who want to come and support us and see us and be with us, we're so open to you. We welcome you in this evening. Do you feel him? The room gets very full, doesn't it? It's like, oh, I can feel him here. I'm so grateful, so grateful. We welcome you in from all dimensions and all timelines. I welcome in my future ancestors. I welcome in my great-grandchildren. Do you ever think about that? I welcome in all the future, the ones I will never meet, who will only hear of me, and the legends and the lores, right? I welcome them in to this moment too. All timelines, 7 generations ahead and 7 generations behind in shamanism is what we welcome. All the ones who will never get a chance to meet you but will live in your legacy, who will have your picture on their wall and say, I came after that one. Isn't that incredible? I came after that one. I heard about her. I heard about them. And they'll be calling you in to their elder council. And you'll be like, I'm there, baby. Got you right now. I got it. All generations, backward and forward. We create space for you tonight. Me too. And then, what am I feeling? Try to feel into this without preparing too much. I have my other wand that I was working with today. And I think there's a reason. So I'm going to open a second circle to welcome in all of those energies too. Of clarity, of love, unconditional love, of wisdom and discernment and power and beauty. We call all of that energy in on top of this circle that we've opened. Sweatshirts and blankets and pillows. and the guardians of the east, element of air. Clarity of your vision, of your breath. The life force. The primal heartbeat. Force of creation. The voice of the ancestors. We welcome you in. Help us to rise above, open up, let go, just to be fully here in this moment, this wisdom circle. Help to lift us up, open our eyes, open our seeing eyes, open our knowing eye, not to be mired down in problems and the challenges of this life, but help us to see above and beyond and within and without. We give thanks, we welcome you here, guardians of the east, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, floating, floating, floating up, weightless, to the guides and the guardians of the south, element of fire. And you're going to hear noise in the background as they finish their work next door. It's part of your practice. Let the noise be there, but let it move in and move out of your consciousness. Journey is about learning to journey anywhere, anytime. To the guardians of fire, we welcome you in for transformation. We ask tonight that you take the dense emotions, the heavy emotions, the grief, the sorrow, the anger, the rage, the resentment, transmute it, transform it into usable light. In the south, we take that skin that doesn't fit anymore, it's too tight, we shed it, we leave it behind. Here you grow, you expand, you emerge. You're more powerful, you're more wise. You can move in, you can move out of any circumstances. In the south is the direction of Tatuari, grandfather fire. When we cross his line, the fire line, we shed fear. You can't bring fear across that line. What does your life look like without fear? What does your life look like without fear? mother yourself, even if your mother's still here. It's the ultimate integration of the West. To mother yourself, so you can learn how to mother others in a good way. To become a force for unconditional love on this planet. And we give thanks to the guides and the guardians of the West. Here we release to letting go, shedding, surrendering, excess energy, excess weight, anything that's too dense, too heavy for you. Just set it down tonight. Sit it down. You don't have to hold it. Even if you can't hear all my words, you're hearing my words. Just let yourself go into the moment. And to the guides and the guardians of the North. Teach us in the North how to ground, how to be, how to rise, how to anchor, how to be strong, but a softer strong. How to rest in power, rest in strength. Not trying to be something we're not. In the North, we learn to let go of expectation. This is full acceptance, full embodiment, bringing your inner knowing from the upper chakras down, 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 down through the heart, filtering in through love, and down, down, down into your centers of power and desire and strength, into grounding. We thank you, guides and guardians of the North, for teaching us how strong we are, how stable we are, how centered we are, without trying. And imagine a big trunk of a tree between your hips. Open it wider, wider, and wider, and wider, wider. And send down through that trunk of that tree. Everything you don't want to hold now. You can't hold, it's too much. Your grief, your sorrow, your fear, any tension in your shoulders, in your back, in your hips, in your legs, in your hands, in your feet. Tension from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. Let's send it down through the trunk of that tree. And give that all to the mother, give that all to Gaia. Soften, soften, soften. It's the medicine of the North. Strength is soft. Strength whispers. And we just slow the vibration down. To feel the energy of the North. That's the strength, the perseverance, the grounding, the integration, the peace. vibration back up as we call in the guides, the guardians of the spirit element. It's the element of ether, element of magic, mystery, creation. We welcome in the guides, the guardians of the fifth element, to move through us, move through our crown chakra, our third eye, our throat, to the heart, solar plexus, sacral, down to the root, and the earth star chakras. We ask that you open the central channel tonight, guides and guardians of the spirit element. Move above and below, move within and without. Show us magic. Teach us how to feel, how to sense, how to become, how to embody. Feel the guides, the guardians around you now. Moving to the east, to the south, to the west, to the north, and above you, below you, inside of you, outside of you. And feel how the circle is already complete. And together we say, Amen. Aho. And so it is. Now, stay right where you are. I'm going to play my rain disc for you, and you don't need to move from where you are. The reason I'm playing it for you, you won't hear me play it much more for a few months, because the fall is the element of water, and the winter is the element of earth. And so we are bidding farewell to this energy and transitioning to a more grounded, stable flow of energy. So I want you to take a moment here as I turn the disc. And I just want you to feel, just for a minute, what are the emotions that need to be processed as we move from this very feminine season to the masculine. What can I take from you? What can we take from you tonight that just doesn't need to go into the next season? And just imagine leaving it here. Just leave it here. You can place into this energy field anything that's too dense, too heavy, too sad. And you can just leave it here, and let's rinse it through. Leave it here. With me. And just leave that here. Yeah, feels pretty good to do that. Especially when we're in a sacred circle together. And I'm just taking a moment, if your eyes are closed, I'm just taking a moment with a white sage leaf just to clear anything that you've left here. So you don't have to take it with you. Yeah, I'm leaving some things behind. Feels good. And just let it be, right? Just let it be. Send it into that smoke. Anything that doesn't need to come with you now. Let it be. Leave it there. Leave it there. Okay. Now. Yes, leave it right there. That's good. Now from this place. And if your eyes are still closed, just leave your eyes closed. You don't need to open your eyes at all until the end of our time together. Just rest, relax, just be. This is your time. And keep providing your central nervous system. There's nowhere else to be, nowhere to go, nothing to do except just to be here right now in this moment. And this is your purpose. This is your job. Everything else just sits outside the perimeter of this very sacred, safe circle that we're in together. Now, as I take you into a very traditional shamanic journey this evening, I'm going to ask that you envision a tree. And for many of us who've done this many times, we have a tree that we like to journey with, a tree that maybe we've seen in real life out in the forest, or maybe it's a mythical tree from our dreams, or maybe it's a tree that we've heard about in mythology, or a tree that has sacred meaning in our lineage and our tradition. Or it could just be a tree that pops into your consciousness, but in traditional journeys we enter the shamanic realms through a tree. And part of it is a tree is a sacred form of creation that really can hold your energy. It's older than you are. It will be here long after you are here. And it has roots to anchor you, and it has branches and leaves to inspire you. So it allows you to journey down into the center of the earth through its root structures and up to the higher realms through its upper branches. And so I want you to imagine wherever that is for you. I always think of the redwoods. Lola thinks of the redwoods, where I used to hike with Dave and the kids when they were little. And there were such incredible trees that were bigger than you are, and as you'd walk up to them, they would have these openings in them that you would swear you could step into your whole body, and it would just envelop you and take you inside and take you on this journey, and you would look up to the trees and your eyes couldn't even see the top branches. They were so tall and so beautiful. And sometimes you could see the root structures, how they would spread across the forest floor, but the roots were bigger than my entire body, and would just spread and spread and spread. And the power of those trees was inspiring to me. Mm-hmm. So it could be a weeping willow in your backyard. It could be any tree from your past or your present, or a tree that you dream of in your future. I want you to take a moment and call in the image of the tree that you'll work with for tonight. And I want you to imagine coming before this tree. And I want you to lose all sense of what's around it. I want you to just be in holy communion with this one incredible tree that you've chosen. And as you come to it, I want you to visualize the bark of the tree at eye level where you are. And as you come close, I want you to imagine reaching out. You can put your arms around your tree, but I want you to imagine reaching out and touching the bark of that tree, feeling the texture of that bark on your fingertips. And if it feels good, you can come up to that tree and kind of lean against it and feel how that tree can hold you. Maybe you want to put your ear against it and see if you can hear its messages and its whispers and its voice to you. And it'll tell you stories of the storms that it has weathered, the generations and millennia that it has witnessed so silently, coming and going, the passage of time, seasons. And in that way, trees can become your allies and your friends, because just as you sometimes feel lonely or sometimes feel like time is passing slowly, trees know what that experience is like too, and then they know what it's like to blink and 100 years have passed. They know how to integrate wisdom. They know how to retrieve nutrients from the environment. They know how to pull strength from their roots, and yet they know how to grow the tiniest of the most delicate of leaves to expand their footprint in the forest. And they're capable of all of that, and they track time. They're timekeepers. And so inside of your tree, its rings are growing, right? And it's tracking time. It's tracking the days and the months and the years and the decades and the centuries. Right alongside you. And so I would like for you to speak to your tree and ask for permission to enter the enchanted realms through its doorways and portals this evening. And your tree may introduce itself and give you a name, or it may just want you to rest in a silent knowing that it's there. And so let's ask permission of our tree this evening. May we enter through you, and by your entrance may we visit the enchanted realms this evening. Help us and guide us. Stay steady for us as we travel together this evening. We give thanks for your strength, your grounding, your protection, your wisdom, your timelessness, your beauty. And feel how your tree is welcoming you in to its own being tonight. And so I want you to take a step in now and imagine that the tree is welcoming you to enter inside of it. And as you enter, the tree hollows around you to create almost an elevator where you can move up within the tree to the upper branches. You can stay on the ground level and explore inside of the tree, or you can journey down. You can actually look down inside of the tree and see, I often see, like a spiral staircase that's winding down through that tree down into the center of the earth. And so I want you to imagine just feeling so welcomed now as you step inside the tree. And I want you to self-direct tonight. Are you feeling called to wind upward toward the branches and leaves? Maybe that's where you're being called tonight. Maybe you have so much growth ahead of you in 2022 that you need to feel like one of the new leaves on the edges of one of the branches. Maybe you need to feel what it's like to trace the line of the nutrients out of those big branches out toward the newest, tiniest, most fragile leaves of growth. Or maybe you feel like you just want to step into the center of the tree and just be in this present moment, but feel completely surrounded by the trunk of this tree. And if you choose that path, you'll find, as we step inside, creatures and spirit animals and allies inside of this tree who are going to come forward and want to be with you and guide you on your journey. And maybe you're feeling like me, where you're ready to go down into those roots and see what wisdom is sitting there for you. Maybe you're ready to wind down and down and down like I'm going to, and see what's underneath, what it will take you to, and down into the center of the earth where you can feel surrounded by roots. And if you go deep enough, you'll feel surrounded by the rocks and the minerals and the groundwater. And you can enter into those crystal caves and caverns as you'll wind down into the center of the earth. And there you'll find the warmth and the nourishment and the encouragement of the center of our planet. So as you step inside, I want you to notice where you're feeling called. And you might notice that a spirit guide comes for you. It could be an animal spirit guide. It could be, if you're going to go up the branches, you might find that hummingbird comes for you, or crow might come for you. Any of the birds may approach you at this point if you're going to go into those upper branches and leaves. And if you're walking into the center of the tree and you're going to be held there, you might be surrounded by other kinds of medicine. There you might find squirrel medicine, or you might find the medicine of any of the creatures of the middle forest. Bear may come and appear to you if bear is an ally to you. And so any of those creatures may come your way. And then if you start to burrow down, you might find other animal spirit allies come for you. And so as we move down toward the center of the earth, some people find the big cats will come for them. For me, I always find that snake will come for me if I'm going down into the center of the earth. I often will find that spider medicine may come, scorpion medicine may come. Those are familiar allies to me. You also may find that there's no animal spirit allies, but rather there's crystal spirit allies. So you may find that if you're going to venture down into the earth, that your quartz crystal allies come for you, or other crystal spirit allies come for you to guide you down into the crystal caves and caverns if you're going down into the center of the earth. And just let your intuition guide you. There's no right or wrong answer here. You can rise up, you can stay present, you can move down, and you may even find that you start by venturing down through the center of the tree, and then you come back up and want to be in the branches. And this is a multi-dimensional experience, so you can move up and down as quickly as you can even imagine it. So we can move up to the branches and down to the roots, and back to the branches and down to the roots. And you might enjoy that, figuring out where your comfort zone is tonight. And so as you choose where you're going, to those branches and leaves, to the center of the tree, and down to the roots, I want you to notice that a pathway is being cleared for you. It could be a pathway into a meeting place in the center of the tree. It could be a pathway to a meeting place in those beautiful branches and leaves. And it could be a meeting place that's taking you down deep within the roots of that tree's own growth systems. But whichever level you've chosen, I want you to notice that you're being guided toward a gathering place. And I want you to sense how welcomed you are wherever this process is leading you, because it's already been determined for you. And there are so many spirit guides and ancestors and animal spirit allies and light beings and master teachers from all dimensions who have been looking forward to this opportunity to be present to you tonight. So I'm following my path. I'm being guided up into, feels like the canopy of a ancient conifer tree for me. And there's lights that extend from branch to branch. They're so beautiful. It feels like a dinner, like a banquet. And remember, this is being held in your honor. This is your night. You've been chosen to come here, and you've called on these beings from all these dimensions. And they're here just for you. They said yes to this for you. So start to notice the details of this gathering place of energy. Notice how you feel excited to be here, welcomed here, anticipated here. There's nothing quite like it. And notice how sweet it feels, because here in this space, you're known. You don't have to explain anything, justify anything. You don't have to be anything or know anything. It's an unconditional love just because you are. And it's a love that's known you since before you existed. It's a love that you don't have to earn. And as you come forward to this gathering place, I want you to notice there's a lot of energies here from all the different dimensions, and some of them might be beings that you can see. They might have a body. Some of them might be invisible to you. Some of them might be half animal, half human. Some of them might just be a voice, but not something you can see. Some of them may just look like energy or like smoke or a shadow of some kind. So try not to judge what you see, but notice how you feel the energies all around you. And notice how there's a place prepared for you here because you've been anticipated. And I want you to approach this seating area wherever you are, above, in the middle, or below. And I want you to find your place, and I want you to take that seat at this table or at this gathering place where you are. And I want you to take a moment to look around and be mindful of and notice each energy, each person or spirit or creature who has come to this place for you. I want you to feel the joy that this gathering has generated among these beings. And I want you to take a moment in your body to feel what it feels like to be fully accepted and appreciated and seen and known and understood without explaining anything. Just take a breath there. If it feels good, you can extend your arms. Sometimes it feels good to reach out. I almost feel like the beings that are there are wanting to hold your hands. Maybe they're putting their arms around you. Some of you might feel like there's like a cloak or some kind of covering that they're putting over your shoulders. Or maybe it's the arms, they're putting their own arms around you just to hold you. And so spirit guides and teachers and light beings and ancestors from all dimensions and timelines and frequencies, we greet you here this evening. We're so grateful for your presence. I ask tonight that you wrap your arms around each person in our community, help them to feel that sense of deep and unconditional love that only you can provide. And notice how your heart chakra just opens in this space without fear, even if that's not normal for you. I find it when I'm in elder council, it's like my heart just wants to be loved in this place and I'm not afraid. So notice if you feel that way too, and if you do, just consciously open your heart here and let all of these energies just beam that frequency of unconditional love right to you this evening. And if you're open to it, just open every other cell in your body just to receive that unconditional love. And then spirit guides, I will also ask that you feel welcomed to transmit healing to us if there's a place in our body that needs healing or support, physical healing, any DNA repair that needs to happen. If you feel comfortable, just give them permission right now to modify the DNA, right, to reactivate the DNA, to align the DNA to a higher frequency of health and well-being. And just feel how that energy will flow through you. It's effortless. Just receive that peace and that love and that healing. And if you're voyant, you might be able to see the spirits sort of sending with their hands this energy towards you. If you're clairsentient, you might just feel that energy coming towards you. If you're clairaudient, you might hear movement or commotion or light language or sounds of some kind. And you may not sense or feel anything except just a deep well of peace. Just feel how that energy moves through every cell in your body. Now I want you to bring your attention back to the question that was on your heart and your mind when you prepared for Elder Council this evening. And remember, this was a question that was not an easy yes, no, in, out question. It was a bigger question about why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to help? How do I do this? What's my next step? How do I move through this with grace? And I want you to bring your full attention to that question right now. I want you to take a deep breath there and feel how that question is being met with love and with compassion, with grace, and just the deepest, really the deepest sense of unconditional appreciation for who you are, where you are, for what you're going through. Again, without having to explain anything, it's all just known, it's seen, it's held. There's just a deep, abiding yes in this space. We see you, we understand you, we know what you're saying, we know where you are. And I'm going to go quiet now, and I just want you to listen. Sit with your question. What is it that you need to know, or see, or do? You might feel called to move your hands. Sometimes I feel this way too, or you might feel called to put your hands on different parts of your body and let yourself go with that flow. It's their hands. So if you feel called to put your hands anywhere on your body, just follow that guidance. Feel how when you do this in this space, you can almost sense it's not your hands. So there's a comfort that comes. And here's a time when you can ask for clarity, explain what you mean, show me more, tell me more. This is a good way, good time for you to ask for any symbols or words or gifts that they can leave with you, something that will have meaning for you or resonance for you. And it may not make sense to you now, but they may give you a symbol or a sign or a word that you'll see a week from now, or it'll come in a song, or you'll see it on a billboard or something where you'll make the connection. So if you want to ask for a sign or a symbol or a word that they will work with you around, continue to communicate with you with, now's a good time to ask for that. And then the last thing here is I would like for you to, if you feel called, if there's anything you want to leave with them from this year, any energy that you feel like you really do not want to take forward from this year, that it's complete for you. And you can ask them, hey, spirit guides, can I leave this with you? Is this work complete? And they will tell you, no, you have to hold on to it. We're not done with that yet. Or yes, you're done there. Let's let that be. So just take a moment to have that conversation. Is there anything that I can leave here, that I should leave here in your care? Again, knowing that these are the beings and energies that love you, if it's possible, more than even anyone who's alive with you today. They've known you longer. So it's good to ask them, is there something that I can leave here with you, and what is that, and how do I leave it? I want you to imagine literally giving over to them any energies that they are giving you permission to release, and just set those there and let them be. Set them down and let it be. Set it down and let it be. And be in a state of gratitude as you do that. Thank you for, it could be something that you've alchemized this year and you're done, you know? We're finishing in 2 weeks. And so set it down and let it be. You've alchemized it. Or they might say, well, you have to alchemize this, but we can do it instantly for you. Just give it to us, right? Just set it and let it be. And feel how your solar plexus shifts in that moment to release that energy. Because ultimately that's where you're releasing it from, is from that umbilical cord, right? So just let it be. Pick it up, set it down, let it be. Pick it up, set it down, let it be. And feel how that cord diminishes from your body. And notice if you feel a little bit lighter in your body right now, because you're going to be leaving some things behind tonight. And notice the joy that they have in holding those things for you. They know this human path is hard. They're here to help you. Just a nice deep breath there. And spirit guides, light beings, spirit teachers, ancestors. Is there anything else you want to show us this evening? We're so grateful for your presence and your wisdom. Is there anything else we need to know? It's always the hardest part, but it's time. It's time. Yeah. It's hard to leave this place where it's all for you. Or it's just for you. It's just about your wisdom and your growth and your assistance and your evolution and your needs. There's no selfishness here because they can't be. It's just for you. But you can come here anytime. This place is waiting for you. So just take one more deep breath here. Ask any questions that remain. And take a moment just to express your gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For seeing us, for loving us, for witnessing us, for knowing us, for helping us prepare for a new year, a new cycle. Yeah. And when you're ready, I want you to rise from the seat that you've been occupying at your gathering. And I want you to take one more time looking around the table or the space and just saying thank you to all of those who came. The ones you could see and the ones you couldn't. You didn't need to. And just say thank you. If you want to, you can invite them to come to you in dream time tonight and continue the conversation. And if not, we'll be back in a couple of months to see them again. And so if your journey took you to the limbs and the branches and the leaves, I want you to call your energy back down now, and winding your way back down to that trunk of that tree, and letting your spirit family find their way back to their dimensions and timelines and frequencies, and say thank you. If your journey took you inside that tree, then all you have to do is say thank you, and rise from your place and move to the entrance of the tree, allowing your spirit guides and teachers and masters to return to their timelines and frequencies and dimensions with gratitude. And if your journey took you down to the center of the earth, I want you to climb that spiral staircase back up and say your farewells as your teachers and light beings and masters and guides and ancestors find their ways back across timelines and dimensions and frequencies with gratitude. And all of us meet each other here, right where we started, at the entrance to that sacred tree, that tree of life and possibility and hope. And so as I prepare to open our circle, I want you to notice how your body is beginning to integrate what you saw and experienced and channeled and received. So if it was love and nurturing, how does your heart feel? If it was physical healing, how does your body feel? If it was peace, how does your spirit feel? What does it feel like to bring some of these energies home into you, knowing that you're carrying them from these places and timelines and dimensions that seem so far away and out of touch, and yet now they're part of you. And just allow your body again to receive that and to feel that and sense that. Because you'll want to see if you can love from this place and teach from this place and work from this place and heal from this place and communicate from this place and express from this place and ask for what you need from this place and love the other people in your life from this place. And even the mundane things, to cook from this place and to clean from this place and to take care of your home and your body and your family from this place. It's a little bit different, isn't it? Subtle, softer. It's nice. Not as heavy. It's a beautiful way of putting it. Mm-hmm. It was good heart-opening medicine tonight. I love you too. If you're hungry, that means you did good work. That's how great people know you worked hard enough, is if you worked up an appetite, right? Mm-hmm. So many times I wanted to pick up my drum, and something kept saying, "Don't drum. It's no drumming tonight." I needed to be, we're moving into the season of rest here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. And it needed to be soft and delicate and quiet. So I want to give thanks and release the guides and the guardians of the spirit element for inhabiting and navigating and activating all of these energies and frequencies. We're so thankful to you. Thank you for helping us see and sense and feel and connect and receive across space and time. We release you with gratitude. And to the guides and the guardians of the North, thank you for holding us steady during these uncertain times and helping us to remain anchored in love. And we release you, and we release the guides and the guardians of the West. Thank you for helping us to shed and purify and calm our deep waters tonight. Letting go of what can't be carried forward into 2022 so we can enter that container in a good way. And thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the South, helping us to see our transformation to witness it, to appreciate it, to continue it. Yeah. And then thanking and releasing the guides and the guardians of the East. Thank you for clarity, for distance. Thank you for purpose and connection, new beginnings, and helping us to move into the cycle ahead with a cleaner field, clean relationships. And we thank and release all the guides and guardians of all directions from our ceremony tonight. Well, that's beautiful. I'm reading your comments. Saya encountered a beautiful light being. She's going to try and draw it. I would love to see it. Jamie, thank you for that. I'm so glad you're here. Wide open spaces from Melissa. Interesting. Yeah, Iona said she was feeling a headache at first, and now she feels rest. Right. So it's just a chance to kind of like, shift it. There's so much that we're holding on to all the time, and tonight needed to be a little gentle, because this is the place from which we can set intentions for the new year, right? We couldn't before because we had all this eclipse activity going on, and it just wasn't. If we set intentions from that place, we were going to be at cross purposes, and so it really felt like tonight we needed to set intentions and visualize and imagine, and from this place of softness and tenderness, a little bit of feminine energy, right? Just to hold and to be present, right? Terry had a great nap. I love that. Lauren said, I think I saw my future daughter there with you. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. Just so thankful. Amen. Aho. So it is. The circle is open. It's funny, for the first time, I did not really anoint with my oils. I mean, I had everything here. It's all set up here. I just didn't. I lit my candle this afternoon and then extinguished it. I burned my incense this afternoon. But not during ceremony. Is that interesting? It needed to be like no drum, no. Is it even still lit? Look, there's not even anything of my charcoal left. Isn't that amazing? Normally it's like tools, and I don't even have any of my charcoal left. It just wasn't what it was about tonight. But part of me loves that because, and I always tell you this, I will tell you this many, many times, sometimes it's important to do ceremonies with no tools. Sometimes. Because otherwise, how will you know how to do it? If you rely on the tools, right? You guys are not like this, but there are some people who feel like they can't do ceremony without tools. It's like, I don't have I don't have my candle or whatever. And it's like, you're going to be in a lot of places in your life when you won't have any tools at all. And you'll want to do ceremony, and you have to know how. Otherwise, I haven't prepared you well, right? Did you anoint for me, Diana? It's beautiful. I did bring out Femme Elder Council for myself tonight because I had a feeling this was going to be a very feminine ceremony, and it was very feminine for me. So, that feels good. Now I want it. You are the magic, right? It's true, Colin. Right. And there was a moment, I don't know if you laid your hands on yourself, but there was a moment tonight where I was doing this and it did not feel like my hands. And that's such an important reminder of how your hands and your body is your tool. All right. Did any of you have that experience of touching your body and feeling like it was not your hands? Did you have that tonight? It's interesting when that happens, isn't it? Boom butter is the business, and it will make you a little soft. Yeah, so good. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It was everything as it needed to be, I think. I really do. I'm glad you were here for it. I really am. Did you feel it? Yeah, Barbara said. And Crystal said, I felt Angel's touch. Rebecca said yes. Iona said yes. Yeah, Janine said didn't feel like her hands either. Isn't that interesting? I'm just reading. Christine said, I saw an owl at the end. It was my time to say goodbye and thank you. A very big dragonfly started to fly all around me. And then from behind my left shoulder, I saw my mom's hand wrapped around me. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that, Sally. That's the perfect blend for you to use, actually. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm really glad it was a good journey for you guys. You know, sometimes it's like when it's not all the bells and whistles, it can be more subtle, but it can also be more profound. Like there were so many times where I was like, I want to grab my drum, and something in me just said, no drumming. There was enough sound, enough frequency, enough vibration that we got what we needed, right? Oh, interesting. Yeah, Cindy said when you did that, I touched my third eye and it popped open, right? Mm-hmm. And see if you can feel it. Because even now, we're in a softer place, you know? See if you can feel that opening there. That's good stuff. So, our last Elder Council of 2021. What? It's in the books. Hard to believe. It really is hard to believe, but I'm really glad you were here, and it felt good to me too. Yeah. So, my recommendation after Elder Council, I try to remember to tell you this, is first of all, drink some water, or if you're like me and you don't like water, drink some tea. Something herbal, you don't want any caffeine late in the evening, so just drink something gentle and herbal. If you don't have anything, like get some, if you have mint in your garden, throw that in a cup of hot water, would be really nice for you. Or if you have lavender that you're growing on your patio in your garden, just grab a couple pieces of the lavender and throw it in some hot water. That's all you need. Take a bath or a shower tonight. If you have a bathtub, that would be great, and put some magnesium, some Epsom salt in there. It would be really nice to just sort of relax your muscles. Try not to do too much tonight. Try to stay off social media and television if you can, just because you're in this kind of soft place, and all of that can happen tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, try to let yourself go off to sleep tonight without too much hubbub, as my mom would say, without too much like interference. You know what I mean? Let it be a gentle, easy night. If you feel too floaty, have a little bite to eat. Have some crackers or something. You don't want to eat too heavy, but to have something that'll, a little bit of protein, just some light food tonight would be really nice too. Yeah, lavender and orange peels is really great. Something super easy, nothing, don't overcomplicate it. Unfortunately, Elder Council is only for Soul Shift. I know. But what some people do is they just join, they're in Crystal Masters, but they join Soul Shift for the 4 months a year when I do Crystal Masters, and they upgrade and downgrade. And you can do that if you want to. That is some people's preferred way of doing it. Some people go in, out, up, down. It's up to you. It depends on what works for you and how you like it. Yeah, garnets are good for grounding too, as Colin's reminding us. Salt baths, garnets, a little bit of light food, but nothing heavy. and then get as much rest as you can. And if you want to continue the journey, you can always, just right before you fall asleep, just say, hey, you know what, spirit guides? The party can continue in dream time, because they just need permission to come through and continue this work with you in the dream state. So give them that permission before you fall asleep, and you'll be amazed what your dreams bring you. Have a little journal there, so and when you wake up in the morning, you can write down what you saw before you forget it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Jennifer Anderson. She said this was such peace after troubling news. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so wonderful, Janine. Thank you for that, too. There's a lot of dimensions, like, and Taisha's birthday, 41st birthday is tomorrow. 41's a great year. It really is. I wish you such a happy birthday and a beautiful year ahead. And what a way to start your birthday, don't you think? Like moving into tomorrow from this place of kind of like connection and peace, and I just love that for you so much. Yeah. So happy early birthday. Invite me into your dreams. I'm always floating around in people's dreams. I'll come hang out with you there. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for being here. And thank you, Alexis, as always, for staying late, too. It was my really, truly divine pleasure to be with you guys tonight. It's always such a joy. Your crown's still tingling? Yeah, and you can always just put a hand here, and one on your heart, which feels good, just to kind of bring the energy, like anchor the energy in your heart and your crown. And you can do either hand, whichever feels good to you. But stay in your body. Mm-hmm. But salt baths, showers, a little bit of food, all those things. No caffeine, no loud music, not a whole lot of TV, not much of the Facebooks tonight, not much of the Instagrams tonight. A little time out from social media. But I would love to hear your reflections and read them. So I'll be in your Facebook group tomorrow looking to see what you say about what you experienced tonight. Really looking forward to it. Brady's birthday is Sunday. Oh, Brady, happy birthday to you. You know what? I love all my Sag so very much. I'm so grateful to be in a Sag world. I'm kind of like a half Sag because my moon's in Sag, so I feel like I get to half be like you some of the time. So, and then I'll see you. I'll see you in dream time, and I'll see you on Facebook tomorrow. Have a beautiful rest of your evening, you guys. Thanks for being here.